Hiya, welcome back. This is the second semi-final from the Prince Takamado World Cup in Japan. The semi-final is between Enzo Lefort of France and Race Imboden of the USA. Imboden is on your left and left-handed. Lefort is on your right, much taller than his opponent, right-handed. So, as this semi-final gets underway, we already see it's much faster, much more aggressive than the first semi-final that we saw. Similar marching attack there by Imboden coming forward, really trying to change the distance. Both fences step forward and miss, and they're parry passed by Lefort. Imboden just got a little bit too close. Lefort managed to pick up the blade, but only hit him off target. Slow marching attack there by Imboden, like we saw before, using his arm to change the kind of distance where he's going to go, but his step is too big. It's too much, and his arm isn't extending. Lefort stays where he is and closes the line as Imboden's arm is all the way back. So 1-0 now. There's counter-attack by Imboden. Lefort steps forward. Imboden tries to close in and counter-attack, but Lefort, because he's moving really slowly, can just land his point. There, it's the exact same action as we saw before. This is the previous action. Lefort's preparation, Imboden's come in and close. Exactly the same action before. Lefort has tried to draw the same two attacks, and it's worked both times, but he's only managed to land off target both times. There, you see Imboden, really nice attack. He's using his arm to keep Lefort at bay there. He's holding it out so that there he can take the parry really easily, really early, and judges the distance really well, managed to land stationary, and has a really easy job of just hitting Lefort under the arm because they're so close after the parry. Again, using his arm to keep the taller man's marching attack at bay. Lefort kind of opens up the distance a little bit, but to get their attack off target. Similar marching attack by Imboden, finishes short. Lefort comes in a little bit, he comes forward a little bit slower than previously. His preparation on his front foot and draws the attack there by Imboden, who obliges, comes forward, but Lefort manages to take the parry and he hits him over the shoulder because of Imboden's attempted counter attack from Eason there. It's a really nice attack by Imboden. It is Lefort's step forward. He wasn't quite sure what he was going to do. Imboden comes forward really fast with a step lunge attack, changes his line from across the body, finishes high. Lefort isn't quite sure where the attack's going to come. 2-all. This is clever by Lefort. As he steps in, as you can see here, Imboden tries to come in, tries to feint in to get Lefort to finish his attack. But because he's much taller and the closing distance again by Imboden, Lefort can just finish over his shoulder because as he's coming into his distance. 2-3. Parry pass by Imboden. He's kind of gone in a little bit and come back out because he's wary of the parry pass that Lefort used before, but can only get attack off target here. We see the same kind of thing by Imboden, using his arm to keep the bigger man at bay. He doesn't want him to come into the kind of distance that he wants with that marching attack, so he uses his arm to not. Lefort has to deal with the blade as well as his distance. This is a really nice touch by Imboden. As you see, he comes forward, similar attack before. This is the previous attack. He's coming forward with that marching attack, and that action there, he accelerates on that change of action. Here, he does the same thing. His arm changes, he accelerates, but because of he varies from attack before, or he changes but keeps on going instead of finishing. He gets Lefort right on his back line, who can't move his feet, so he uses his arm to try to parry, which leaves a really nice, easy disengage for Imboden to move through. Just hit him on the shoulder. 3-all now. As Imboden tries to change positions, as he stops and tries to come forward, Lefort just finishes easily to Lefort's flank. Imboden didn't even to Imboden's flank. Sorry, Imboden didn't even get a light up on that exchange. 4-3 now. Slow marching attack there by Imboden as he takes the blade really slowly and just finishes to the shoulder. Attack simultaneous here. Both fences start at the same time as the referee says alley with a step lunge. Both fences extending their arm about the same time and tempo. Simultaneous. Here we see Lefort starting his really slow attack, and Imboden is using the same kind of tactic, keeping him at bay and counter-attacks in, closing the distance really well there. I think Lefort could have landed the touch if he changed the line which he was going to hit, instead of hitting along the side, try to hit to the flank. But because Imboden closed the distance so quickly, I don't think Lefort really had the chance to change the angle of his attack there. 4-all now. Here we see both fences kind of preparing a little bit, and then Imboden starts his marching attack again, finishes. He's not quite ready to finish the attack. Here's a nice bit of adaptation by Imboden. See, on a previous touch, as Lefort's come forward, Imboden's feinted but continued to go in looking for the parry, but he's come into Lefort's distance, who can just finish over his shoulder. On this instance, instead of continuing to go forward, he feints in once and then goes immediately back out, causing Lefort to finish instead of getting hit. As Lefort comes forward, yeah, Imboden thinks he's caught Lefort in preparation. He's gone for a video replay, but Lefort's action is still continuous, while Imboden has kind of prepared with his back foot and managed to get a 2 fencing time action. A preparation almost needs a 3 time, a step lunge. This is just preparation lunge. And Lefort's arm, while it's not extending really well, Imboden does, as the referee signals there, it's just one continuous action, and so it's still Lefort's attack off target. This is a very, very similar attack to what we saw before, almost exactly the same. As the referee calls Ale, Lefort steps forward in kind of preparation, not quite sure what's going to happen. He's expecting a preparation from Imboden, who doesn't give anything from it, who just comes forward with a step lunge, changing the different line again as we saw him do it before, and Lefort's kind of caught unawares. There, single attack by Imboden. Lefort kind of stopped again as the referee says Ale, not quite sure what's going to happen. Kind of almost pulls his arm back, really, it's just so late the way he's extending, and Lefort just extends into it. Really nice long attack there, and he's continually changing the line, as you can see here. So coming forward really, so watch his arm, it's moving all over the place. So Lefort doesn't quite know where it's going to come. See there, Lefort scampers back, and as he stops, as he's slightly off balance, Lefort just finishes to the top of his arm. 7-4 now, nice attack. What we see here is very, very similar to what happened before. Lefort comes forward, changes his tempo there. The distance between his feet change before Imboden tries to counterattack in, feign it, and then parry post. But because of the height Lefort has, he's able just to finish over the shoulder because Imboden's coming into his distance. Slow marking attack there by Imboden. See, this is different. This is different. Instead of Lefort going back, he's come in. He's come in. As Imboden's come forward really slow, he is still preparing, even though it's his attack, he's still technically preparation here. Yeah, see, Lefort, he feints with the back foot, then goes in, extending in. Even though there's 2 lights, Imboden's attempted parry kind of gives it away, that he's been caught inside his preparation because he's not quite sure. He's not looking if he wants to finish or he's not looking to parry, and so his action kind of gives that away. And the referee's changed his decision, 7-6 now. Good call by Lefort and a good change of tactic as well. Here again, we see a little bit change of both fences. See, even he feints in there, then backs straight out. But instead of letting him catch his balance, Lefort is right on top of him again. You see, wait, if you see there, he feints and goes away. But now, as he's reeling backwards, he's off balance. And as he steps forward, his arm is not where it should be. Lefort manages to gain his balance back first, take the blade and hit Imboden under his chest as he steps forward, completely off balance. 7-all now. Ooh. Imboden came forward a little bit too eager for that attack. A couple of times he's made one action of preparation, one step forward, then finish. This time he's made a couple more. You can't do that against a taller opponent like Lefort, who just managed to hit and run away as Lefort is still in that fast preparation. Here, as Lefort is stepped forward, his arm is a little bit too much where it should be, and Imboden prepares by taking the blade, and Lefort is still closing the distance, so he just can finish, flick him on the shoulder quite easily. 8-all. Simple attack and preparation there by Imboden, but he was a bit unlucky to land that attack off target. Bit of a slower attack there by Lefort, but Imboden is still using his arm to keep him at bay. Yeah, neither fencer really wants to commit to that because they've both been called out by parry pass and counterattacks in their action, and so because of their non-committal movement, I think both of them got a bit caught up, and so no attack was scored there. Parry pass there by Lefort. Imboden got a little bit too close, and Lefort was able to pick up the blade relatively easily, but only hit him off target. Changing distance by both fencers, both coming in, both coming out, attempting to make the opponent fencer miss. Yeah, counter parry pass by Lefort. That's a nice bit of adaptation from what we saw previously. See, the previous parry pass Imboden got, as he stepped forward, he managed to take parry pass because Lefort kept on going. In this instance, he takes the same blade, but Lefort doesn't keep on going, he stops, and because of the distance between the 2 fences, he's fast enough to take the counter parry pass, but he's only able to hit off target. Parry pass there by Imboden off target. Takes the blade, turns his body a little bit, but still keeping everything legal. Hits Lefort off target. Both fences kind of prepare there. Imboden finishes with a step rather than a lunge. I think that's why he had to finish the shoulder, because he didn't have the distance to disengage and hit him underneath the arm, but still got the point on target. Nice bit of point control as well. 9-8 to Imboden. 17 seconds left in this first period. Imboden marching attack again, finishes a little bit short, and so does Lefort. There, as Imboden comes forward, he brings his arm back so Lefort can't take the blade, but he's a little bit too far away, so he just can't land the point on target. 11 seconds left in this first period. Again, it's the same kind of action. Even though you see Imboden's arm almost stop, it's not a stop action enough. It's just more of it looks more like a change in line. And so, again, attack off target. Distance not quite right to get that attack on. 7 seconds left, and both fences decide to leave it at 9-8. Beginning this second period, let's see if the fences have changed their tactics at all after talking with their coaches and see what they come back with. See tactically if anything's changed so much. Imboden's still trying the same parry pass. Lefort got a little bit too close. Imboden takes the blade and hits him off target on the leg, I think there. Attack by Lefort there, yeah, 9-all, sorry. Video couldn't really tell. I think Lefort just started extending a little bit too early because their feet, a little bit earlier, correction, because the tempo of their feet was pretty much the same off the on-guard lines. 9-all now. Yeah, okay, now this is a good example. Lefort has slightly changed his difference. This is a previous action where that marching attack of Imboden's has worked because Lefort has gone backwards. He's giving him the distance. On this attack, he doesn't go backwards. He stays and counterattacks, and so Lefort, Imboden's big action gets blocked out. Really nice parry pass there. Lefort feints with his front foot, then comes backwards, goes in and out of the distance, confuses Imboden, and able to get a really nice, easy parry pass. Still a marching attack there by Lefort. Yeah, parry pass there by Imboden. I think he wasn't quite sure whether he wanted to parry or counterattack. Kind of just ended up standing up, but managed to get a light off target. Slow marching attack there by Imboden. He's trying to, yeah, it was the change in distance there by Lefort. Imboden was kind of almost caught flat-footed. He doesn't really move that much on that action, just counterattack by trying to close the line and spin. Lefort could just flick him across the chest. There we see Lefort tried to counterattack in, like the stop hit that we saw previously, but Imboden held his distance really well. As soon as Lefort fell backwards off balance, he just accelerated with that running attack. Just hit him on the arm. There we just see, off the on-guard line, Lefort isn't quite ready to make any action, not quite ready to commit. Imboden is and just extends in with a step lunge. 11-all, he's closed that two-hit lead that Lefort had. Counterattack there by Lefort. Imboden has to be careful he doesn't get hit by that stop hit like previously. Parry pass there by Lefort, counter parry pass, excuse me, by Lefort. And Imboden kind of reprised, hit him and fell off the piste as he did so. It's a little bit better by Imboden. He's closing a little bit better, moving in a little bit more as Lefort sped up with his arm still back. But because he closed into the distance, Lefort just couldn't land the action. Previously, Lefort was given that, and Imboden called for a video replay, which was successful. But you'll notice that the referee just doesn't put the score down. There, with that action, Imboden's moving in and out of the distance, trying to confuse Lefort where he is and get him to finish, which he does. And there, both of them just notice that the score isn't what it should be. Now it's 11-all. Same marching attack by Imboden. Lefort stays where he is, and both of them are a little bit unlucky to not get the light up. Counterattack there with him, you see by his body language, he's just really lucky to get that touch. Lefort had all the initiative on that action. I think he just suspended his arm a little bit too much than what it should be, didn't extend it. And Imboden kind of stayed where he was and scrummed a little and just somehow managed to get the light up. 12-11. Attack simultaneous there, both step forward in preparation, and then both lunge and extend at the same time. There, it's still Lefort's attack, but Imboden, he thinks he's caught him in preparation if you watch. Lefort does pull his arm back massively, but begins to extend way before Imboden does. Imboden's not happy. Yeah, you see with his hand, he thinks he's gone straight into Lefort's attack, but he was moving backwards, and his extension came long after Lefort's arm began moving again. Attack given to Lefort, 12-all. That was lazy. But anyway, he stepped forward without the intention, without the need to get the hit. Finished really lazily on the back. One light, 13-12. Same marching attack by Imboden. And Lefort goes backwards this time, but manages to avoid getting hit. Then comes forward. and hits off target, 13-12. Again, we see the same kind of action there. Imboden again closing, but not just landing the point on first. I think he's counter-attacking before his hand is moving, which is why he's not getting the light up. It's really nice action there by Imboden. Lefort managed to take the parry. He's really off balance. Again here, parries. Imboden's really off balance, really far back, but manages to bring himself up to the position he needs to be. Sees that Lefort is covering the high line and just finishes to his back. 13-all. Really nice point accuracy there. Same arching attack there by Imboden, but riposte there by Lefort as Imboden kind of realized that he wasn't in the right distance. As he realized that Lefort had the blade, he kind of tried to sneak underneath Lefort so he couldn't so Lefort couldn't hit him, which didn't happen because Lefort hit him. And now it's 14-13. Lefort 1 point away. Ooh. I think Lefort has the action he wants here. He comes forward to make Imboden finish and manage to take the parry there. But as he steps forward, the problem is he steps forward with his arm all the way back because Imboden closes the distance so quickly and so directly. Lefort just can't land to get his light on because he has to finish from so far away. 14-all now. You hear the cheers from the French in the background because they see the green light, but everyone knows that's Imboden. Imboden's attack off target. Parry pass there, but Imboden, really nice touch. Throws his mask in celebration. He stepped forward, stopped, taking the parry, flicked him to the chest, really stationary, really nice touch to win this match. And he's into the finals of this comp. Lefort has to settle for the bronze medal. Very well fenced by both.